it over again. It looks like the microphones. There we go.
There you go.
Okay. Good evening. The Design Review Board number 2 public meeting of July the 15th, 2010 is called to order. Please refrain from talking amongst yourselves during the meeting, and please turn off all cell phones and pagers. If you need to talk, please leave the meeting room. Anyone who wishes to speak, including applicants, is asked to completely fill out one of the speaker cards provided at the table by the front door and to submit it to staff. You will be called to present a case or speak on a specific item as desired. Anyone who wishes to be re-noticed must completely fill out one of the postcards provided at the table by the front door and also submit it to staff to receive notice of subsequent meetings. Current Design Review Board agendas are available by calling our Design Review Board hotline at 818-548-3171 or by visiting our website at www.ci.glendale.ca.us. A handout describing the procedures of the meeting, possible board decisions, and Design Review Board reconsideration and appeals is available by the table by the front door. Please note that all appeals must be filed within 15 calendar days of the Design Review Board decision date. The chairperson may reorder agenda items at his or her discretion. Roll call. Board Member Baladian is absent. Board Member Garagos?
Here.
Board Member Malikian?
Here.
Board Member Sakai? Here. Board Member Zarufin is also absent. Report regarding posting of the agenda. The agenda for this meeting was posted on the bulletin board outside City Hall at or before 5 p.m. on July 8th, 2010. Oral communications. Discussion is limited to items not a part of this agenda. I have no oral communication cards.
I don't have any cards.
None as well, which brings us to the review calendar. There are no items on the consent calendar, and there is only one item on tonight's agenda. I'll turn the meeting over to Chairman Garagos.
Great. Thank you very much. Welcome one and all. Short agenda, small audience. We'll see what happens. See what we can, what kind of mountain we can make out of this molehill. We will start with 2 PDR 2010-020-A, 412 Spencer Street. Take it away.
You ready?
Yes.
We're good. Good evening, members of the board. Tonight you'll be hearing case number 2 PDR 2010-020-A. There is currently an active building permit which was issued for a 270 square foot addition on the site on March 10th, 2010. The permit was issued after being reviewed by staff and was deemed exempt from design review. The permit allows for the expansion of the front entrance, which will be here on the site plan, and an addition of 1 bedroom and 2 bathrooms. The bedroom would be this bedroom here with this bathroom, and this bathroom here, which used to be a portion of the den. Because of the owner's proposal for an additional 616 square feet beyond what was originally approved and exempted by staff, the project is now required to be brought before the Design Review Board. This is the first time this project is being presented for you. The applicant's proposal is to construct a first and second story addition to an existing single-family 1,680 square foot home. The addition will be 616 square feet. At the back of the home, here on the elevation, it would be this portion here. From the site plan, it would be here underneath what was previously built under the existing permit, or in the area highlighted in orange.
So I'm sorry, they already built the main floor?
I'm not sure if it's completed.
That's under this point. That's under.
It's under
the
construction.
Okay.
Built in 1926, the home exhibits influences of the Spanish colonial revival style, as do a majority of the homes in the neighborhood. Homes in the area range from 1- and 2-story single-family homes to multi-family complexes. The existing property is roughly rectangular in shape with a triangular offshoot at the rear of the lot. A slope on this lot allows for the addition of the second story to the home without increasing the height of the existing roof's ridgeline. The second story will be added beneath the existing main floor. So as you can see here, the slope on this elevation, the ridgeline is not changing. The addition will take place here, underneath what is now the main floor. The site planning appears appropriate in this case, given the shape of the lot and the locations of the existing house and the garage, which is here at the back of the lot. The driveway runs up. I believe this is the east side of the property. The addition appears to respect the existing massing, scale, articulation, and fenestration patterns of the existing home. The mass of the addition has been handled well. Changes in planes, such as the cantilever on the second floor, should be right here. Inclusion of various architectural elements, such as the corbels beneath the cantilever, the wooden trellis, and this roof pattern, as well as articulation of the walls stepping down the width of the addition. You can see here they come in a little on both sides. As it approaches the rear face, have all aided in reducing the visual impact and size of the addition. The height of the walls is reduced through the use of a hip roof as opposed to the gable as exhibited on the front property. As reflected on the elevation drawings, the proposed project is sensitive to the Spanish colonial revival style of the existing residence. This sensitivity is reinforced through the use of appropriate design and detailing as well as materials and finishes. For example, we have the wood windows, which will be used for the new addition, which will reflect the same pattern as on the existing portions of the home. The proportion and operation of these windows will be duplicated. The existing hip and gable roof design will be maintained and will be clad in two-piece roof tile. The new trellis patio provides additional design-appropriate features to the house, to the rear of the house. In all materials, such as the wood windows and two-piece Spanish roof tile in the project, are of high quality and match those materials already existing on the house. These materials are reflective of the existing style of the home and that of the overall neighborhood. Based on the site planning, massing, scale, building design, and detailing, staff recommends approval of the project with the following conditions.
James, do you mind turning on your microphone?
There we
Thank
go.
you.
I apologize. So the conditions are all windows should be recessed. New windows should be provided with wood sills and trims. Window muttons should be three-dimensional as viewed from the exterior. Wood or fiberglass windows should be used in a style consistent with the existing windows. The windows, trims, and frames should be dark in color so that they stand out from the light-colored stucco as proposed. If possible, the windows on the east, west, and south elevations should align at their top points. The garage conversion shall be restored back to its original condition. And as a consideration, the extending the open trellis patio over the French doors at the rear, as it may enhance the trellis feature even more. That is the conclusion of my presentation. I'll be here for any questions you have.
Any questions for staff? Okay, good.
I'm looking for a photo of the front right here, and enlarge. Based on this photo, can you tell me if this window is drawn, well, is this window reflected in that elevation, or is this window, is existing, is that the same window as that's being drawn? I'll ask the architect.
Yeah.
I'll ask the architect.
Are we good?
Yep.
Okay, I have 2 cards. Do you want to go first? Okay, Franco, state your name and address, please.
Franco Noravian, 409 West Broadway, Glendale, California, 91204. I'm the architect for the project. Good evening. Basically, it's important to note that this is even though it says first and second floor addition, we're adding down, not adding up, obviously, because the existing house already has almost a 6-foot underfloor area. So we excavate just a little bit and we're adding down. But technically that's considered a 2-story, so we have to come in front of the design review board. Pretty much matching all the everything style of the existing house, all the materials and everything. I just want to say, as far as the conditions, we're okay with all the conditions, except as when we talk about recessed windows, we're just going to match the existing, the same recess as it is on the existing. I think wood windows, they're recessed anyways. Casement wood windows, they would be recessed, but our plan is to match existing.
Is the plaster bullnose right now? plaster pulls back?
That's how the existing is.
Okay, so
we're going
that's
to
what
match
the
that.
inset
And
would
are
be
they,
then.
are they wood windows
Wood
now?
window, wood with true divided light.
The existing windows are wood windows.
Yes.
And the new windows are going to match the wood
Correct.
windows.
Okay.
Right.
Same dividing
Right.
line.
With the same bullnose plaster?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly the same detail.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out from this image what the window mullion division was.
Right.
Based on the images up there, it looks like you have a bunch of different mullion patterns. And
The existing is like that, yeah. So we're not replacing existing. We're just
which ones are new?
basically just the ones to the back. The bottom elevation to the left, that would be all new windows. But
The style being the single light lower with the divided up.
correct, yeah, right.
That would be consistent on the addition then, okay. Any other questions? Do you have anything else to say? I did have a question for you. The area that is over the French door, you sort of have a flooded roof section for the lower extension?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it. I'm sorry. My client wanted me to ask, because originally we wanted to do the trellis as a way of creating some outdoor area to connect the house to the garage, to the detached garage, and it really looked good. Unfortunately, the zoning, if we connect
Doesn't
it,
allow it, doesn't it?
we can't. This doesn't have the right setback. So at this point, it's so small that he would like to ask to just eliminate the trellis altogether. Because
Well, actually, what I was wondering was on the area where you have a little bit of flat roof right above the French door.
Right.
Could you do that as a shed roof, and then when it comes to the door, you could extend it down further because it's up
Absolutely.
high?
Absolutely.
That might add some more interest. It'll give you covering for the
Absolutely.
French door.
We'll be happy to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then get rid of the trellis, and you don't do the trellis. Yeah, I think you'd want to have the cover for the French door anyway. It'll give you some more detailing.
That's
the
a great
backside. Okay. Anything else, anybody? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any other cards?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to speak? You good? Okay. You seem so happy, so I figured.
Content to just sit.
You want to go?
Yeah, I think it's fine. I wish we had a section to kind of understand what was going on, but and I wasn't able to go in the back and look at it. But now that he explained what is happening on below it, so the side extension is happening level with the existing this area, and then the below. Yeah, I think it's fine. I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I think it's done well, and I think you're lucky to have a house that has room underneath where you can't see it from the street, where your neighbors aren't going to be up in arms over a second floor addition when it's really going down. And also the houses next to you are 2 stories, so it kind of balances it out. I think the staff recommendations for the window conditions, which you expressed that you will follow them, is appropriate. And I think the idea that you had about the shed roof, because I think that wall does need something. It just seems like a lot of flatness, and it'll probably be bright against the concrete driveway. So having a little bit of relief from the concrete and all that heat that's going to be collecting there from the concrete would be good. And if you don't want the trellis, and a shed roof is a good idea to put that there. Yeah, I guess the only concern was that the windows looked a little haphazard with the mullion patterns. But if most of them are existing and they're wood windows, they're of good quality, hopefully dual glazed for energy efficiency. They're single. The new ones will be dual glazed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that should be fine. It looks good.
And I already mentioned the comments I had, so if somebody wants to make a motion with that, make a motion, then we'll go over our conditions if you want.
I'll move to approve with conditions.
A second.
And we'll just go over, the only thing I would add is that we would add a shed roof in the back, the extent of which would be up to the applicant. It was at least as wide as the door, and then maybe even considering the whole width and
it'd be
almost
the
a
whole
patio-like on the back, I think it'd be nice.
Would that be a consideration, or?
I think it would be a condition, the only,
Perhaps what it could, forgive me, I don't want
Go
to
ahead, go ahead,
interject,
go ahead,
but that
go ahead.
if the proposed wood trellis is eliminated, that it be then replaced or with a redesigned shed roof above the French doors that might span the entire length of
no, actually, the condition would be to do a shed roof.
as
They could
opposed
still
to
do or
eliminate.
not the trellis. I think they're saying not to, but
Okay.
I think you do a shed roof. What I'm saying is how much of it goes past the wall. It could be wider and actually become a porch on the back. So the extent that it comes out would be up to them. It's just that it would exist. So whether it's a porch or just an overhang would be, that would be the portion would be conditional.
And then the shed roof would extend over the door?
It's the whole width of where the flat roof is now. I'm just saying it could extend out into a porch, an actual covered porch if they wanted to.
Oh, I see.
But the condition would be that it's a shed roof.
Okay.
Whether it becomes a porch would be up to them,
Okay.
with consideration. That part.
And I'm sorry, I may have missed it. Were there comments on the trellis, or?
They can keep
They were
I
saying
guess
that
they wanted to remove it, so
if they were going to do it, I would have comments on it. They were saying remove it, so could we say that it's removed? Okay. Then the
Okay.
condition would be that it's removed. Are we good with that?
Yep.
Okay, call for question.
So there would be a motion made by Board Member Malikian, a second by Board Member Sakai. I'll let Mr. Combs finish this roll call.
So we have the motion by Board Member Malikian, a second by Sakai. I'm sorry. A motion by Malikian. Zarifian is absent. I apologize. Malikian.
yes.
Zarifian is absent. Baladian, absent. Sakai.
Yes.
Garagos.
Yes.
Thank you.
Motion passes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to approval of minutes.
Correct.
And I would like to say one thing. Can I comment on our new status or our new format?
Yes, and then this is in reference to the fact that the minutes are now action minutes.
Yeah, it's so actionable that it's hardly minutes anymore.
Not really minutes, yeah.
All I would say was if you actually want to diminish it to this extent, you ought to at least put the conditions in it. What the conditions, if there were conditions or considerations, that they really should be added on there. Because you're making us sign for something that seems a little vague, at least on our part. Did you feel the same
Well,
way?
I had a comment via
Oh, please,
email
go ahead.
about that it seemed a little vague, and how could we verify what we said at the meeting was then picked up by staff, and that would be given to the applicant as a direction. And I thought, well, even though we watched the meeting and it's there on the tape, it may not be communicated in the case report, and I certainly don't want to read every case report. So I think the minutes reflecting what was conditionalized or considerized.
I think that's a minimum that I would recommend.
Yeah, the record of decision was something that I think we've talked about. I'm not sure exactly when it was, when we were going through, I think it may have been about this time last year, going through, checking in with you and also Board 1 to see how we were doing, what changes you'd like to see. We did talk about the record of decision and what better ways to do that. Within staff, we've also tried to improve our processes in regards to the record of decision. Part of the reason that we have staff reading back the conditions is so that you know right then and there what it is you're voting on. When we then go back and write the record of decision, it's almost verbatim what we've repeated back to you. I think we had talked with you at one time about potentially taking a break, going back to write them, having you review the text of them, and it was decided that was a little bit too cumbersome, would add to the length of the meeting in the way that was not really intended. If we do want to talk more about a way that you're more comfortable to do the record of decision now that they will be pulled out of the minutes, we can schedule that as an agenda item.
Mayor,
Yeah, but
I have a question. What is the minutes for when we sign it? What is that for? What is that going to be used for?
That is to provide an official record of the meeting.
Okay.
And
If
yeah.
that is going to be an official record of the meeting, wouldn't you want to have the comments and conditions that we put in, which at the end of the day, there's been many instances that there were mistakes there. as it was typed back, what we discussed.
Perhaps what we could do is actually speak to the city attorney and Hassan Haghani, the director, and see what we can do in regards to maintaining that consistency for all the boards and commissions having action minutes, yet at the same time also being reflective of the design review board's conditions and considerations.
Yeah, because
I think we'll go
Those
ahead
conditions
and bring,
are so much a part of the approval
Exactly.
in a lot of cases.
Well,
a lot of people go back and they want to see what we said rather than go and.
Yeah, part of the reason we pulled them out is because we've been given specific direction to have them in the way that is consistent across the board throughout the city for the minutes. A lot of other decisions also have conditions on them throughout the city, and that's why we pulled those out, because we were specifically directed
To other
do so.
departments, other hearings, they have as many conditions and specific conditions that we do that has to do with the design of specific.
Well, for example, council hearings, GRA hearings, they all have specific conditions as well, and
Well, I think
they're
when
not noted in the minutes. So,
When you've had a zoning hearing or a planning commission hearing or a variance or something like that, there's 20 conditions on the back that are completely boilerplate. So I can understand that you wouldn't. I think these are so site-specific, project-specific.
yeah, I don't know that I would say that our planning here. Yeah, I think.
You
if-
know what I'm saying.
Yeah, since this was not agendized, we've actually overstepped. So I'm being told by Ms. Zimatitis that
Let it go.
we've.
Merely making a comment. We're making a comment for you to go back and discuss it.
that's my comment.
That was my
Let's-
intent. That was my intent.
We'll come back.
Come back and discuss
We
it.
can report back to
We
you.
almost had a record. We almost finished it before
I
5:30.
know, almost before 5:30.
Let me just say
That's
this.
something.
All I'm talking about is when you get the letter, a record of decision that you send out to the applicant, it's a 5-line thing at the bottom, and I'm just saying cut and paste that under the yes, yay, and nays.
Well, it could be as simple as bullet points. These are the considerations.
Yeah, like on the
These are
letter, it's a
conditions.
5-line.
Well, we will check back and report
Back
back
for
to you.
consideration.
Yes.
On the
It's an official record of what happened, and you're signing it saying, yes, this is what happened.
we haven't really discussed anything. We've merely transferred information to staff who will,
Expressed our concern.
You've expressed your concern, and those will duly be noted, and we will discuss
because
that.
it was not agendized and we
No.
aren't voting on anything.
With that said, I mean, I'm not sure if you would like to continue the minutes from July 1st until we get that determination, or if you would like to go ahead and approve the minutes.
I think these are probably okay. I'm comfortable doing that.
There's nothing on them. Yes, we said
It's
yes.
why it feels, we'll add that in there too. We feel it's funny to sign this.
We're just confirming that we
We were here.
Voted.
And we voted the way we did.
voted
I'm
and
fine with continuing them if you want.
You can, okay.
Okay, we'll go
We
ahead
will
and
continue
continue.
them. We'll continue them.
We'll continue, and we'll report back to you.
Yes, please report
For
back.
that, or-
Okay, with that said, there are no other items on tonight's agenda.
No staff discussion?
No
We
staff
discussed all those possible?
Is there a motion to adjourn at just after
To adjourn.
5:30?
motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.